Hello and welcome back to CSE's Live Chat. I am Sukanya Nair and I have with me today Himanshu from Down to Earth. Himanshu, thank you so much for joining me
Yeah,
today.
thank you for
Uh,
inviting Sukanya.
so, we know that plant pathogens are known to spread very quickly across regions. But it's not just that, they are also known to reproduce quickly and infect new hosts. So, after the Spanish flu, COVID, and HIV, do we think that plant pandemic could be the next big one? Let's find out today with Himanshu. Himanshu, my first question to you is why are we calling it the plant pandemic?
Yes, so Sukanya, as you mentioned about Spanish flu and COVID, it's something similar that we have tried to explore about plants. So we have focused on the plants or crops that are widely grown and consumed across the world and how different diseases are affecting. So it's like imagine if there are multiple pathogens that are attacking or causing yield losses to different crops simultaneously in different parts of the world. And then that is causing yield loss at large scale. And in the long term, given the climate change and other factors, the losses are likely to increase and it will eventually impact farmers and livelihood. And the biggest question here, it's about the food security. It will lead to crisis, possibly. That is what it's predicted. And we've had these instances before about this Irish famine in 1845 and 1852, and Bengal famine in 1943.
Himanshu, we are getting some comments that we are not very loud, so
Okay,
maybe
okay,
slightly louder.
okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so yeah, that's about it. So this is what it will lead to, and then that's why we need to be aware. So pandemic is essentially like a disease that is spread in different parts of the world. So this is specifically related to plants. Yeah.
So, what other pandemics are we seeing across the world?
So right now there are like different diseases that are impacting different plants. So for example, like coffee leaf rust that is impacting coffee in coffee growing regions. It's actually eradicated coffee from Sri Lanka. So Sri Lanka no grows no coffee
Right.
anymore, and it's causing severe losses in Ethiopia. The exports have been impacted by millions of dollars. And there's other diseases like maize lethal necrosis and cassava brown stick disease, which is impacting maize and cassava plants, and also in Africa, where our reporters went and got information from the field. They also realized that many farmers were not able to sustain. It's actually literally causing issues for their livelihood. Then there's also Fusarium wilt that is on banana, and that was found first in Central America in 1890, and it's existed since then. And then there's also a resistant variety that came, which is known as Cavendish banana now, and but then it is likely that it will also uh, develop resistance and threaten the banana production. So that is why so many diseases are impacting, and that is what we are seeing right now. Which is there are some diseases that are also impacting like citrus fruits. Yeah.
So, Himanshu, I mean, this is also the down to earth cover that you've worked on.
Okay.
And so, for this story, you have traveled across Bengal and even Punjab for that
Yes.
matter. Can you tell us what's happening in India?
So for in Bengal, I went for specifically with wheat blast. So wheat blast is a disease that originated in Brazil, and then eventually it was found in Bangladesh in 2016, and then in Zambia eventually. So India shares border with Bangladesh, and it ranges.
So, in
Okay.
some parts of you had which all
So
area?
I went to Murshidabad
Right,
district, which is very close. We went to two, three villages across the borders,
right.
And the government of India has taken adequate measures. They have introduced wheat-resistant varieties, and when this disease was initially detected in Bangladesh, even India burned wheat crops, and just as a precaution. So it's not entered India, but again, that's the threat that it may spread, and then eventually it may cause wheat. And India is one of the biggest wheat producing countries,
So
so that
so
may.
far we have not
So
really.
we have not, and it's not there, and in India is taking enough product precautions. So even then, when it was detected in Bangladesh, India had introduced a ban on cultivation for 5 kilometers across the border areas. So that's what happened. And even I went to Punjab for this potato blight or late blight, as it's called. So it's causing a lot of losses to farmers, as I mentioned earlier. So there are like very big farmers who own 200, 300 acres of land and who specially grow for these big companies called like Lay's and McCain and McDonald's. So they are facing losses worth 70, 80 lakhs and even complete yield loss. So that's what is happening in India.
So my final question to you is, what is being done about it? I mean, what are the precautions that can be taken, or what are the precautions being taken already?
So what scientists say is that we take a leaf out of COVID-19 pandemic and take some learnings and implement it here. So using genomic surveillance or to help control the spread of disease. Uh, that's one way. And then, for example, researchers have also recently conducted genomic surveillance of wheat blast fungus. So, which is also like a very genetically complex process. But then uh, we have scientists have been able to get resistance at some level, but there's not foolproof or they're not very confident about it so far. So we need multiple layers to bring more protection, and these genes have to be very durable in the long run. And there's always this chance that the disease or the pathogens will develop resistance to it, and then eventually again. So we do stand vulnerable to multiple diseases, basically, like the crops.
We are still, I mean, almost on path on the pandemic, or how would you put it?
Yeah, like we are on the verge of pandemic, and there's already some areas where it's already impacting in some levels. It's not impacting at such a huge level that it's causing severe losses, but then Russia-Ukraine war has also shown us, how vulnerable we are in terms of when the wheat transportation stop.
Right.
So that's how, yeah.
Right. Thank you so much, Himanshu, for joining us. And you can check out Down to Earth's new edition, which is the June edition, June 16th to 30th, on the plant pandemics for more information. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back soon with the next episode. Bye bye.
Thank you.